Hello, and welcome back here in the brick world for another small update today. Today, we will be focusing on the area around the roundabout and right next to the pineapple store. Specifically, I want to take care of something today that I have always envisioned for the brick world, and also for this area. You all know Times Square with its huge advertisements, the electronic billboards, and I think that would be quite interesting in this area, and we want to test that a little today. So stay tuned for this new update. Basically, you already know the whole idea. I have this screen. It's the same one we used in the space project. It has a huge advantage in that it comes without a casing. This is really the minimal setup it needs. That means we have relatively little to modify. But I noticed it fits perfectly in the area above the entrance right here. Where the windows are, it actually fits perfectly in terms of size. And I thought this would be a great moment to test the whole thing. Then the question was, what do we actually want to show? And I have the topic of I know some people think it's a silly topic. It is artistically challenging. That is definitely true. But for my purposes here for testing, I found it great. I simply generated some images with Journey that are in the style of Lego figures. The topic, yes. Mobile communication, cell phones, smartphones, tablets, include a little bit more of it and make it look futuristic and modern. Additionally, I used advanced AI technology from Adobe to animate these images. You can make very short little animations from it. It's truly incredible how far this has come. It gives you a few small problems here and there. But overall, it's really a nice story that now helps me enormously to implement what I want. I then simply stitched it all together here in CapCut, without any big things. And then we have here, I believe, about a 20-second video that will run in a loop on the screen. And generally kept in this blue, yes, for violet lilac style, which is supposed to be the advertising style of our pineapple store. The whole thing is supposed to run above the entrance. And I think it would be something that enhances the whole thing a bit more. This is how it looks under the table. Of course, this is all just provisional. I have now placed all the technology under the table. It's now standing here on a cardboard box. Of course, everything will be improved. This is just for testing in any case. Then the two cables go up here. By the way, this is the remote control for the screen. And then the cables go here. Later, they will be pulled over here at the bottom and then go down here into the module. This means that later you won't see the cables anymore. But that will be done in one of the next updates. You can see now the screen is integrated here. Just as I said, it fits well. The cables go down through. And from the other side, it just looks nicely visible. So I really like it. It's really what I had imagined. And you can see here the video that we just even crafted is now running here and gives the whole thing a special effect. And I also think the color scheme fits very well in my opinion with the style that I want to represent or show for this pineapple store here. I believe that would indeed be the color palette. And also the design that such a commercial for the pineapple store here in the brick world would have. And I think that is a really nice story. If we consider incorporating it elsewhere, it would be great. Another topic that is still very much on my mind here is that I actually want to finish the edge of the table here. That means we actually need to build a piece of road here. The problem with this road, however, is that I had actually planned for it to go up a bit because we might eventually go over the tracks. I've started on that now. First, here with the tram element, yeah, because that's the least flexible part. I've just raised it a bit here. It's about 2 bricks high on the right and 1 plate higher. I think that's a pretty good angle. And from there, we can now consider how to build the road around it. That's actually a bit complex. Actually more than you might think to make it nicely go upwards here. It will also get a bit more complicated with the GMG path because it also has to go upwards. And then related to the building, that will involve some tinkering, which I'll probably postpone to one of the next updates. A little speed image. So you see, it's now being placed smoothly again so that it continues to be built into the street here. What many have pointed out is that the bike path is actually missing here, which we have on the other side of the roundabout. I absolutely need to order the stones, which is why the bike path is also missing on the small section we've already built. But it will be delivered later as soon as I eventually order something where I can also order the stones needed for it. I haven't forgotten about it, just a small note, because some people have already pointed it out in the comments some time ago. This is how it looks now. This is also for now the end. Well, the end for today. You see, it transitions relatively well, but it's a bit complicated, especially down here from the point where everything is still on the plates, to transition to the incline. I think it fits quite well, but I'm not yet 100% sure if this is the perfect technique for it, especially if it needs to be continued at some point. The idea behind it is that at some point the road will go over the tracks here, while the tracks go a bit down on the next table. Many have actually mentioned that the path probably isn't long enough to get over the tracks. That's why I now had the brilliant idea that we should also lower the tracks a bit, and then we should say to ourselves, if we run in two directions, it should eventually work, in my opinion. But that's a topic for the next table, or the next tables, because it's not here at the edge. And also here, I have to think about how we will do this in one of the next updates. But I simply want the table edge to be far enough that we are completely over it here. And that's something where you might be able to give me some ideas. In the comments, let me know how you think the whole issue can best be solved. With the bridge and the track that we should go under, it's just a bit complicated in my head. I've tried a few things, even today. Let's see where it goes. Otherwise, the topic of Times Square in quotes. I thought, in the foreseeable future, my version of the Daily Bugle building will also be placed here, which is of course perfectly suited to perhaps install 1, 2, or 3 of those screens there. And then we would have a bit of a modern look here with such advertising platforms. And I think that would actually enhance the whole area quite a bit, making it look even more metropolitan. And many have already mentioned this in the comments. Otherwise, that's it for today. A small update, which might seem smaller to you than it does to me, because I did tinker a bit with the topic regarding advertising techniques, etc., as well as laying the cables. But in the next updates, we will definitely continue building. At the law firm and also at the dome of the station, hopefully things will progress soon, because those are the main construction sites we have now. I simply want to bring a bit more content again soon concerning the city itself. I hope you like it, even if today it was perhaps a bit smaller, in quotes. It is simply how it is. Everything takes a bit of time. I would like this to be my main job, but at the moment it simply isn't. Maybe it will be someday, but I try to bring as much content as possible. This is just a small thing, a matter close to my heart, which I wanted to present to you in this video today. And otherwise we'll see where it goes. Until next time, goodbye.